Let me say something that might sound insane. Chainsaw Man is one of the dumbest anime I have ever watched. And one of the most emotionally devastating story ever written. This is the show where the main character dream is to touch, and somehow it turns into a story about trauma, manipulation, and loneliness, and what it really means to be human. Welcome to my channel. My name is Abhishek, and here I talk about everything and anything in anime. Chainsaw Man is not just an anime, it's an emotional experience that slowly builds from absurdity into something deeply human. Denji begins as a boy with nothing, and through his journey, we witness how even a smallest desire can carry immense emotional weight. This story explores themes of loneliness, trauma, control, and fragile nature of happiness. As Denji encounters Makima, Power, Aki, and later Reze, each interaction reshapes his understanding of life, love, and to suffer. The brilliance of this narrative lies in how it disguises emotional depth beneath chaos and dark humor, only to reveal its true weight when the viewer is least prepared. Most anime try to impress you. Big fights, big power up, and big speeches. Chainsaw Man, it does the opposite. It pulls you in with stupidity and then hits you with reality. Because this story isn't about becoming the strongest. It's about someone who started with absolutely nothing. No family, no education, no dreams. Just survival. Let's talk about Denji. On the surface, he is an absolute idiot. Like, bro has zero filter, zero shame, and zero long time thinking. But here's the thing, Denji isn't dumb. He has just never been given a chance to grow. Think about it. This kid who never went to school, never had parents, and never has friends. His entire life was death, violence, and survival. See, most anime protagonist wants to save the world. Denji, he just wants toast with jam, a bed, maybe someone who cares for him, and yeah, maybe a little romance. And that's what makes this so uncomfortable because those aren't big dreams. Those are basic human needs. And then she appears. Makima. Calm, soft spoken, kind, beautiful. Basically too perfect. And right from beginning, something feels off. Makima gives Tenchi food, purpose, shelter. And to us, this feels like kindness. But to Denji, this feels like everything. Because when you have had nothing, even the smallest kindness feels like love. Makima doesn't force Denji. She doesn't needs to. She rewards him, conditions him, controls him without him even realizing it. It's not power, it's influence. Then we meet Power and Aki, and suddenly this chaotic, violent story feels warm. It feels normal. It feels like family. Because once you get comfortable, once you start laughing, once you feel safe, Chainsaw Man, remember what it is. And it takes everything away. One of the biggest reason this anime hits so hard is how it's made. It doesn't feel like anime, it feels like a film. Everything is slower, more grounded, more real. And just when you think you understand the story, Chainsaw Man introduces someone who changes everything. Reze. And trust me, this is where the story goes from great to unforgettable. This is not a love story, but it might be the best one you have ever seen. Just when you think you know what kind of story this is, it changes. Not slowly, not gradually, instantly. Because this is the moment where Chainsaw Man stops being just a story about survival and becomes something much more dangerous. A love story. Let's talk about Reze. Because the moment she appears, something feels different. Not like Makima, not controlled, not distant. Reze is warm, she laughs, she teases, she leans in just a bit too close. And for the first time, Denji is not being used. He's not being ordered, he's not being controlled. He's just talking. And that might sound small, but for Denji, this is everything. Those cafe scenes, yeah, they are simple, but they are doing something genius. They are building something Denji has never had before, normalcy. You can actually see it happening. Denji starts thinking, questioning, feeling, not just reacting, but experiencing. Now we need to talk about the pool scene. Because this might be the most misunderstood scene in anime. A lot of people called it fan service. It's not even close. There is no tension, no expectations, no manipulations. Just two broken people existing. For the first time, Denji isn't Chainsaw Man. He's just a normal boy. This is where everything changes. Because Denji realizes something. Affection isn't supposed to be earned, it's supposed to be felt. And once he learns it, there is no going back. And then comes the moment Reze asks him, "Run away with me." This is the moment that decides everything. City mouse or country mouse, excitement or peace, danger or safety, and Denji, he hesitates. And that hesitation costs him everything. And then everything breaks. This is where Chainsaw Man reminds you what it really is. Because in a single second, trust turns into pain, love turns into manipulation, and Denji gets betrayed again. This is it, the final stretch. And after all explosions, after all the blood, after all the chaos, you are left with something unexpected. Silence. Not relief, not victory, just emptiness. Because deep down, you know this wasn't supposed to end like this. And now comes the question everyone asks. Was any of it real? Did Reze actually cared about Denji? Or was everything just a part of the mission? Here's the truth. Reze was lying, but not about everything. Because if it was all fake, she wouldn't hesitate. She wouldn't have pause. She wouldn't go back. That's what makes this story hurt. Not the betrayal, not the fights, not even the ending. It's the fact that it could have been real. Denji's story is simple. He wants love, and every time he gets close to it, it's taken away. Or much worse, it was never real to begin with. Makima gave him control disguised as love. Reze gave him freedom disguised as love. And both ended in pain. Chainsaw Man is not subtle. It's about trauma, and not the kind that get magically fixed. The kind that stays. The kind that shapes who you are. And its core, this story is about loneliness. Denji isn't fighting devils, he's fighting the feeling that he doesn't matter. This anime have fan divided. Some loves it, some hates it, because it doesn't give you closure. It doesn't wrap up everything nicely. It doesn't reward the character the way you expect. But that's also why it works. Because it doesn't lie to you. It doesn't pretend everything is okay. At the end of the day, Chainsaw Man isn't about devils. It's not about power. It's not even about fights. It's just about a kid who wants a normal life and never got it. And honestly, I loved this anime. So tell me, did Reze really love Denji? Or was he just another victim in a world that doesn't allow happiness? That's it for today. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow. And let me know in the comments what did you think about Chainsaw Man. I will meet you in the next video. Till then, bye.